I wanted to make a tutorial today about a for a health system. When I first started doing Unreal Engine, I was looking up a health system. A lot of them did not uh, kind of set you up for scalability or have you think in terms of ways that could be scalable down the line. So I wanted to make a quick tutorial and go over some ways we can start and build a system that will later help you down the line. Alright, so we're going to make a healing system from scratch here. Loading up the engine. So I won't do the UI side of this in this tutorial, but if that's something that you want or need help with, I can make a part 2 for this and do the UI. But the UI side is pretty easy. It's essentially what you would do with any other system here. Alright, so we're going to go with the third person template. I'll name the project health system. And we'll get started. Okay, so the good thing with the way I'm going to do the health system here is we're going to use a active component. Active component, you can place them on multiple actors and you only have to code them once. So instead of going through a health system and you have to code the health system on every enemy or anything that's going to have health, we're just going to do this once. Okay, so first let's start off by some organization. Let's make a new folder called a health system. Alright, and we're going to make a child of the third person character so we can make our own character. I'll just call that BP character. We'll move into the health system. Alright, and we're going to create the active component. So right click in the content menu, go to blueprint class and actor component. Oh, sorry, I was saying active component, actor component. Alright, so AC actor component health system. Alright, and before we jump into that, we want to right click again, go to blueprint, and we want to make a blueprint interface. So BPI health system. So we need an interface so the active component can speak to whoever it's on. Okay, but we'll dive deeper into that later. Okay, so in the health system, of course, we need a couple variables here. So the first one will be the max HP of the character, and the next one will be the current HP. Right. We're going to make a custom event, and we'll call this change HP. So this will be called whenever the owner of the health component takes damage. And I'll show you how we'll do that here. Let's see. What I'm looking for here. Compile. Okay, and we want to input of a float here. And this will be the damage that's coming in. So to find out health, we normally do current HP, so get that, minus the incoming damage, and then we set that as the current HP. One thing we'll want to do here as well is we want to clamp the value here. So we want to make sure it can't go under 0 and it can go over the max HP. So we don't want them to be like going into negative values. We don't want them to be like super dead or like Paul Walker dead, just normal. Okay. And then from here, we're going to pull from the current HP and do an equal and see if that's equal to 0. And if it is, if it is equal to 0, we're going to run some information here to show that they're dead. And we need the BPI system to do that, or the interface. So in the interface, we're going to make a new function, and we'll just call it dead. So we need to add the BPI to the active component. System. Okay, we want to pull from here from true. I type in dead. And we want the message. So if you do not see this when you first type dead in, click the content sensitive and you'll be able to find it. So I don't know why Unreal Engine is like that, but it is. Okay. One thing we need to add here is on the begin play. We want the component to know who the owner of the component is. So we want to right click, type in get owner, and then just pull from here and promote that to a variable. And we'll just type in owner. All right. So this needs a target, and the target will be the owner. All right, that's all we need to change the health. Okay, so now let's go into our character. Under components, we want to click add and type in health and get the health system. We can pull from the health system or pull into the graph. First, sorry. Let's go to class settings, interfaces, and add the health system here. And then under the interfaces, we can double click on that to bring that up. And we'll do a print string. And we'll say dead. Okay, so when this fires off, the owner, since we have that tied here, it will run this event. Alright, so now we want to right click, type in damage, and look for any damage. So once this takes damage, we want to report the damage to the actor component. So pull from here, change HP, and we'll have the damage go directly into that. Okay, so now let's make another actor here. So we'll right click, print blueprint class, and actor. So you do not have to do this step, but we're just going to make a way that we can see the damage come up here. So BP damage. Also, we're going to add a print string here so we can actually tell that damage is happening. Okay. Okay, so under the BP damage, I'm just going to add a plane here so we can see it. And I'm going to make a new material damage, just to give it a color. So hold 3 and left click. I'll put it into emissive color, double click on that, and we'll give it a red. So red means bad, right? Apply that. Left click on that, go to BP damage, left click on the plane, and boom, we have some damage. Now we need to add an overlap. Or not overlap, sorry. We need to add a box collision. Make sure the box collision is under the default root, so we can make it as big as we need to here. Whoa. Oh, that's the plane. Okay. And that's the box. Let's just make that a little bit smaller. Okay, that's good enough. So under here, we want to do left click the box, scroll down on the right under the details, and on component begin overlap. So we want to pull from here, type in damage, and apply damage. And any actor that steps on this will take 5 damage. Okay. So actually, let's do it like this. Pull from here, timer by event. grouping, custom event, damage, apply damage. We're doing the same thing. All right, 5 damage. Okay. So now this one here, it will just every 1 second while you're overlapping, it will do 5 damage. So it will do 5 damage every second. That's all I just added so we can test that out. Okay. So let's a couple things here. Under the world settings, we want to go under game mode, select our BP character, and make the BP character the default pawn class, just so we can see what's going on here. And we'll put the damage on the map here. Okay. So when I stand in the lava, holy crap. Oh, okay. Sorry, I know what happened here. So under the BP character and under the health system, we have to set the values here. So if you want the character to have 100 HP max, we want to set that. And then compile. All right. Okay, cool. So the reason we did the active component, so we're going to make a duplicate of this here, of the character. It's a BP enemy base. So this will be just the base, your base enemy class. And normally you want to make a base class and then make children of that class so you can keep the same settings. So if we go into the enemy base, we want to keep all of this here. Keep the health system. Maybe you want to change the HP values. And we'll go into the enemy base and just give it a different color here. And then we can go into the BP character and we're going to set up a quick key so we can do damage. So if we press 1, we'll do a line trace. Line trace by channel. Get actor. Location will be the start. Get forward vector. Multiply. Change that to a float. So we'll shoot that 5,000 ahead. Just to make sure there's no range issues. Okay. And then we want to add these two together here. So the location plus a 5,000 units for it. And that will be the N. And we'll keep it persistent. So I'm just going to test this out to make sure it fires. Okay, boom. Alright. So we want to hold down B, left click to make a branch. Pull from the on hit, or the out hit, and break it. Alright, and then pull from the true and type in damage and apply damage. And we want to apply damage to the actor we hit. And we do 5 damage per hit. Okay. And if you want to, here's something we can do to double check this here. So if you want to make sure whatever you're hitting has a health system, I believe we can type in interface. Does implement interface. And then we'll type in health. Okay. And we'll do another branch here. So even if we were to attack something that doesn't have this interface, it wouldn't take damage. So it has to have this interface to take damage. This isn't a necessary step, but it's a good way just to like double check to make sure you're not running code that doesn't need to be ran. Okay. So let's try this out. Oh, sorry, I forgot to put the enemy on the map. So we'll put the enemy on the map. Oh, I need to go back to the enemy. We have to go to the mesh, go to details, and we have to check the collision preset here. So let's change that to custom. And the vision, it should not say ignore, it should say block. So the vision is for line traces. So if we're going to use that, we need that. Okay. Alright, so it took 5 points of damage, and you notice that it has its own health pool. And it's not using the health that we had. Okay. So let's close out of this here. And from the enemy base, we're going to create another child. BP enemy boss. Let's make another a different color here. So let's make a material instance. mi underscore boss. Double click on that. And there should be a parameter under here. Wait, that's not right. There it is. Okay. So we'll change that to a blue. Right. Open the boss enemy. And go into this the component. And we want the boss to have 500 health instead. Right. Let's put the boss out here. See? A boss has its own health, the base enemy has its own health, and the player has their own health. But we only coded one system. Alright, so now we're Devin now. And whatever needs to have a HP system, you just have to put the actor component on there and fill out the max HP and current HP, and that's it. Let me show you one more thing here. So I know I said I wouldn't do the UI, and I'm not, but if you wanted to connect UI to this, we could go through another interface, add another function, call that report, add a input here, call that damage or health. Okay. Type in report. Look for the message. And this part here, it will send this health to the owner. Let's go to BP character. Go double click on report, and then you can hook this up into your UI. Okay, so if you had like a health bar, normally up here in begin play you would have like your add to viewport, create widget. Okay, and then you would pull from your widget reference and send this information into your widget reference. Okay. And let me answer one question in case someone is like a bit more advanced and may not be a beginner. So you may say here, why not use an event dispatcher? Okay. So what an event dispatcher does, so you may want to use event dispatcher for being dead. So when someone dies, right, you could drag your event dispatcher here, call it, and say have anything that can die, look out for death. So the problem with this here is if we use an event dispatcher, is that death would be called on every single character that has an the health system, and not just the owner. So if your character died, the enemy boss would die, and the enemy base character would die, and we don't want that. So we have to use the interface and go directly to the owner and not through whoever is listening. Okay. Alright, so this will pretty much complete the tutorial here. With this system, you can do anything with the actor component. You can do an experience system from here. You could do a skill system from here, a status effect system, and have it all hook into any character in your entire game. Alright, so I hope this was helpful, guys. If you have any questions, just drop a comment. I'll answer as I can. If you want me to expand the system more, anything that you want to see in the system, maybe you want to have stamina added to the system or mana added, we can certainly go through that and I can show you how to do that. It'd be pretty much the same thing as adding health here. Alright, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks.